Biden ha dicho que él firmará el proyecto de presupuesto socialista de Pelosi si este es aprobado. Pelosi solo tiene un margen de 4 votos y 3 de esos votos son del sur de Texas: Vicente González, Henry Cuellar y Filemón Vela. González, Cuellar y Vela siempre apoyaron a Biden y a Pelosi, pero ahora González, Cuellar y Vela están nerviosos y tienen que escucharte ahora. Llama al 202-224-3121. Dile a González, a Cuellar y a Vela que se opongan al socialismo de Pelosi y Biden, y dile a González, a Cuellar y a Vela que voten no a la agenda socialista de Biden y Pelosi. No dejes que González, Cuellar y Vela se salgan con la suya. Llámalos hoy. 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. Llama a González, Cuellar y Vela hoy. 202-224-3121. Pagado por el Caucus Conservador.
Biden said he'll sign Pelosi's socialist budget bill if it passes. Pelosi only has a 4-vote margin, and 3 are from South Texas: Vincent Gonzalez, Henry Cuellar, and Filemon Vega. Gonzalez, Cuellar, and Vega. Gonzalez, Cuellar, and Vega always supported Biden and Pelosi, but now Gonzalez, Cuellar, and Vega are jittery and need to hear from you now. 202-224-3121. Tell Gonzalez, Cuellar, and Vega that South Texas stands against open borders, against more welfare handouts, against the woke cancel culture, and for keeping America strong. 202-224-3121. Tell Gonzalez, Cuellar, and Vega to stand against Pelosi-Biden socialism and vote no on the Biden budget. Gonzalez, Cuellar, Vega. Don't let them off the hook. Call now. 202-224-3121. Paid for by the Conservative Caucus. Biden, Pelosi, and the Democrats are pushing a $3.5 trillion budget scheme, changing America into a woke socialist nightmare. And the votes are coming up, so listen and act now. Biden will sign whatever Pelosi puts under his nose. But there's one problem. Pelosi has only a 4-vote margin, and Congressman Jim Costa is one of those votes. Biden's a disaster. Inflation and our borders are out of control. Democrats are jittery. The elections are nearing, and all the district lines are changing. Make Costa feel the heat. 559-495-1620. Demand Costa vote no on the radical Biden-Pelosi socialist agenda. Don't count on someone else to act. That someone else is you. 559-495-1620. 559-495-1620. Demand Jim Costa vote no. 559-495-1620. Paid for by the Conservative Caucus. Biden, Pelosi, and the Democrats are pushing a $3.5 trillion budget scheme, changing America into a woke socialist nightmare. And the votes are coming up, so listen and act now. Biden will sign whatever Pelosi puts under his nose, but there's one problem. Pelosi has only a 4-vote margin, and Congressman Jared Golden is one of those votes. Biden's a disaster. Inflation and our border are out of control. Democrats are jittery. The elections are nearing, and Golden's district voted twice for President Trump. Make Golden feel the heat. Call Jared Golden at 249-7400 and demand Golden vote no on the radical Biden-Pelosi socialist agenda. Don't count on someone else to act. That someone else is you. 249-7400. 249-7400. Call Jared Golden and demand Golden vote no on the Pelosi-Biden budget. Paid for by the Conservative Caucus. Nancy Pelosi's H.R. 1 is a vote rigger's dream, forcing states to let people register and vote the same day, automatically registering criminals, illegals, and welfare recipients, expanded early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot harvesting. Dead and illegal voters kept on the rolls while photo ID is banned. And worse, H.R. 1 mandates government subsidies for political campaigns. H.R. 1 is a vote rigger's dream. Stop vote fraud. Stop H.R. 1. Sign the petition now.
The 2020 election was a procedural nightmare. Many people wonder whether it was fair and honest. And now Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats want to make all of that permanent with what they call the For the People Act. If passed, it would put Congress in charge of our elections. Absentee ballots would be mailed out to anyone without proof of the voter's identity. Anyone who shows up at the polls could vote without showing ID. The government would automatically register people to vote without even checking to see if they're citizens. It's a recipe for disaster. The Conservative Caucus has a very different plan. All voters must prove their identity. The voter rolls must be purged of dead people and those who have moved. There must be paper ballots to verify the machine count. Election observers must be able to see everything that is happening. You can help make this a reality. Go to our online petition at theconservativecaucus.org/stophr1 and make your voice heard.
The Conservative Caucus is responsible for the content of this advertising. The Conservative Caucus is responsible for the content of this advertising.
20, 30, 40, even 50 years in Washington. Congress needs term limits now.
Take action. Sign the petition. Go to passtermlimits.com.
More than 90% of House members get reelected because their incumbency allows them to stockpile millions, keeping good people from running.
Take action. Sign the petition. Go to passtermlimits.com.
The president has term limits, so do 36 governors and 15 state legislatures. It's time for term limits for Congress. Stop endless incumbency.
Take action. Sign the petition. Go to passtermlimits.com.
House Joint Resolution 12 is simple. 12 years in the House, 12 in the Senate. Then it's time for someone new.
Take action. Sign the petition. Go to passtermlimits.com.
12 years for Congress, 12 years for the Senate. It just makes sense.
Take action. Sign the petition. Go to passtermlimits.com.
Paid for by the Conservative Caucus. passtermlimits.com.
Why do we need term limits for Congress? They serve for decades, rigging the system to make themselves almost impossible to defeat. Nancy Pelosi, 35 years. Mitch McConnell, 37 years. They have become a permanent ruling class, not public servants. They become allies of the lobbyists and bureaucrats, serving their interests rather than ours. The founders wanted a citizens' Congress, whose members would have a career outside of government. They would feel the burden of the laws they passed. More than 80% of Americans support term limits for Congress. Make your voice heard. Help us pass term limits by signing our online petition at conservativeusa.org/term limits. That's conservativeusa.org/term limits to sign our petition. The Conservative Caucus is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by the Conservative Caucus.